This is the Maple Mountain Elleves Senior Showcase. Today we're honoring Abbie Jackson. Abbie Jackson, daughter of John and Callie Jackson, is a senior and 3-year member of the drill team. Abbie enjoys baking, taking pictures, thrifting, and animals. Abbie has won several drill downs at competitions. She was chosen as most improved at Epic Drill Camp and most positive at PDC Camp. She has been in her Young Women's presidency for several years. Abbie's favorite drill memory is when they were coming down from hiking Maple Mountain. It had been a long hike, and when they were climbing down, they started to get delirious. Everything was funny, and the things that happened on that hike she will never forget. Abbie would like to thank her supportive parents and her patient family for dealing with the stresses from drill. She couldn't have done it without her team. She loves her best friends. Abbie Jackson. Hi, welcome. This is Jeff Porcaro from Maple Mountain Sports, and we're here talking with Abbie Jackson, a Maple Mountain Eleve. And Abbie, I want you to go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you've been doing over the last few days during this shutdown.
So because of the shutdown, I've been able to work full time, which is actually, it's been nice. I'm a waitress at Sunglow Cafe. And then also with more extra time, I've learned that I'd actually love to bake a lot more than I thought I did. And so I've been baking a lot, and I've had a lot of my friends' birthdays, and I've been making cakes for them. And it's been good to be at home with my family and bake a lot.
That's awesome. It sounds like you've really picked up on some good new fun talents during this time.
Yeah.
So, with the Elevays, you guys spend a lot of time practicing, probably more than any other sport or team or anything else. And you have early morning practices, afternoon practices, all kinds of practice, actual performances that you do at games and stuff like that. So, what do you and your teammates do to kind of make practices fun?
We couldn't get through practices without joking around with each other. That's what we do the most. Just 'cause sometimes drill can be kind of strict practices. Like you can't really, there's not a lot of talking, there's not a lot of goofing around. So it has to be like the little pick me ups or the little funny comments, just like whispering to each other. And it's just the little things that get you through the practice. It's not like some big, like, party that you have to have a pick me up. Like I feel like the best practices are the ones where we're focused and working hard, but where we also like are saying like little things to each other to pick each other up and just funny little comments. That's at least what got me through the 3 years. So
Okay, great. Um, and so one of the other questions I have is you've done a lot of different performances, and you've basically done a lot of different dances over the years. Which dance is your favorite dance that you've done?
um this is kind of weird, but my junior year we did a kick routine as a state for state. And the whole year I couldn't stand it. Just because I'm not the best at kicks. They were very hard for me. And so I really struggled with the dance. Like, I don't know, like every time Molly said to run it, I would like, my heart would like drop almost. Like, I hated it so much because it made me so like tired and I was just not good at kicks. But walking off doing that kick routine at state, like, I remember like being teary eyed walking off this gym because like it was like such a good feeling. Like, not that it was over, but just because like that was the best time I had ever done that routine and it felt so good. Like I felt like, oh, I can actually kick this time, and I just liked it. But yeah,
That's great. That sounds like a good memory as well.
yeah.
So one of the other questions I have is, what was your favorite costume?
Um, I loved our military costumes. They were super sparkly and stuff, and I love the color of them. I think they're awesome, and I got to wear them every year, so it's kind of like a memory in the costume, I guess.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And so you had a lot of opportunities to go to a lot of different competitions and different performances. And in all of the places that you went over the years that you've been in Elevate, where was your favorite place or location to actually perform?
Maple Mountain. I love the football field. I think it's awesome. Football games are my favorite place to be. So, yeah, I
Okay,
don't know if that
that's
works.
great. No, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. So, yeah, I personally like the football performances quite a bit as well. So they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, when did you start dancing?
When I was two,
Okay, so
yeah.
you've been doing it for a long time then.
Yeah, my mom potty trained me by telling me that pretty ballerinas go on the potty. So,
Oh, that's great. So, throughout all of these years of being in LFA and dancing and competing, who would you say has had influence or been an inspiration for you in your dancing?
probably my dad, because when I was about to do drill, I couldn't decide if I was going to stay at studio because some of my studio teachers said that you lose your technique on drill. And I totally believed it, but it wasn't true at all. It helped my technique, but my dad told me, just do it, you gotta stick through. And then when I did make it, he took me to practice every morning my sophomore year, and he's always like given me advice, even though he knows nothing about dance. He's like done everything he can to give me the best advice, and I don't think I could get through the hard times without him. So
That's
yeah,
great, and that's a lot of commitment again to not only make sure you're at practice every day. Those practices start pretty early at 5:30 in the morning,
yeah,
and you know you guys are great that you're able to get through that and not collapse at the end of the day. Um, so as you're out getting ready to compete and do different performances and stuff, what do you personally do to kind of get rid of the butterflies and be ready to, hit that competition?
Well, the morning when I first wake up, we wake up super early. Like for competitions, it's even more early. So I probably wake up at like 4, and then I turn on like a playlist that I have set. It's the same playlist every time. And then I always make sure that like we do buns for our competition, and I always make sure they're like super, super slick, like more than a performance. Like it has to be like perfect and stuff. And then I don't know, I guess that's just what I do every morning before a competition.
Okay, great. And another question we've been asking all of you seniors is, what are you looking to do after high school?
So I just signed on an apartment about 2 weeks ago, and I move out in August. I'm going to Dixie State. Right now I'm just getting my generals, so I'm not sure what I want to be yet, but I maybe want to go into education. But yeah, I'll just go
Okay.
there.
That's great, and I'm sure you'll have a good time and you'll be great at whatever you decide to do.
Thank you.
Great, and so one of the last questions I have is: you've had an opportunity now after these years of being in LVA and kind of looking back at all of the opportunities and all of the performances and all the practices, and if I had to ask you what advice you have or words of wisdom that you can give those who are following behind you, what would that be?
Like someone who's going to be in LFA.
It could be somebody who's in Elevate or anyone that is in Elevate now. What's your words of wisdom or advice?
Um, I would just say the days go slow, but the years go fast for sure. So just enjoy the little moments and learn to like be appreciative of like things that you wouldn't appreciate before. Like be appreciative if you make a dance, and like be appreciative if you have to run sprints twice because it helps you. It makes you stronger. It's good for you.
That's great. That's great advice. Thank you for that. And we want to thank you for joining us and talking to us and letting us get a little more insight into your experiences as an Elleves.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us in celebration of these great Maple Mountain Elleves seniors. This has been a presentation of Maple Mountain Sports.